allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Dear Lord, Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us here again tonight. Lord, thank you for this night in northern Michigan, this place called Township. Lord, thank you for your guidance and wisdom tonight. We evaluate the matters before us. Help us to continue your work here, making this township a wonderful place for us all to live and greater good. Lord, thank you. All right, on to the approval of the agenda. Sign. Put that under property review. Sign for the wall out front. Cemetery signage.
Update about the road, like just mentioning the detour coming up.
All right. Got yeah, it's all for all signage and then cemetery signage. Anything else? Added your the road thing. I'll put that up here. Above the anything else? If not, a motion to approve or approve those amendments to the agenda. Julie moves. Marv supports. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Vote the same. Okay. Open it up to public comment. Limit to 3 minutes, please.
I know it's broad, but not sure what to do. But I've been driving around a lot of our gravel roads where we spent a lot of money in the past couple years fixing people that wash up in the rain. There's manhole wash up. This is county combining rate to make it better. It requires yards and yards of gravel. So when you have to do that, there's going to be a road. They're not just going to be able to create the same thing. And if they're getting any funding for purchase stuff, I think they're going to leave it more big function. Got it worse because the county can't do it. There's a lot of material. They go to bring up shit. Right. And no room. There's a couple. Scott Road. They're all Scott Road looks like the county tried to do something with it. There needs
It needs material, right? Okay. Thanks, Dave. I know I heard that the county might get some emergency funds, but as far as I know, it's left with ice storm, which is trying to pay themselves for it. So, but yeah, I would still need to look at that. Anybody else?
I'd like to talk. Jesse, Banks Township. I know I mentioned appreciated Mark's first meeting there. His comments were changed the setback from 30 to 20. That is ludicrous. This is nothing. It makes no sense. And he went on to do a math calculation about how much property it actually affects. And I'd like to let Mark know that the amount of square footage that this 10 feet adds, deducts from my property, adds up to half of his entire property that he has. So for me, it's not little, it's half of your property. Patty had mentioned that in R1 it's 55 miles an hour. Well, that has no difference between ag or CR. Ag or CR 55 miles an hour, so what does speed up has to do with anything? They mentioned safety of the children. Okay, well, do kids that live in agricultural land, they don't matter as much as kids in R1? That's not a valid argument either. So it was mentioned for EMS. Well, if you go down to the fire hall, pretty sure if you ask any of the firefighters down there if they'd rather pull 10 less feet of hose, I'm pretty sure they're going to say they want to pull 10 feet less hose. So I don't understand that. I would like some sort of explanation as to how come Dave at the meeting under his breath says he's known where he's at this whole time. I'd like to understand what basis that came from and why, because it wasn't in a positive tone. Curtis made a comment about R1 and the front setbacks and how they were originated. He says, well, what's the reasons? We don't know what their reasons were. So Curtis doesn't have any reason as to why the original founding fathers of zoning created them either. Then we start looking at zoning and trying to make things less restrictive. Now all of a sudden we've got RVs, we've got campers on there. Now we're adding tents. I mean, at what point are they going to start regulating a teepee that a kid's built in the backyard? I mean, come on. We got lake districts now. That's another thing that's going to add multiple pages to the zoning. I mean, I thought the goal of this that we learned this winter was that common sense, less restrictive, is what the overall population wants. Maybe not necessarily getting rid of everything, but at this point, I was really, really frustrated and wanted to come in here yelling, and I'm about that. I'm not going to do that. This just doesn't make sense. The front setback zoning thing shouldn't be I feel this shouldn't be it. There should be a definite reason. Be the planning commission, be the board that sets the actual rule. This is what we do, and this is why it has changed. The old school way, that's the way we do it. And you know, it used to be 50, and now it's 30. Be happy with it. I'm sorry, I can't get along with that. I need a concrete reason, and I haven't got the tangible, legitimate reason why.
Anybody else?
I see I'm on the agenda to EPA board. Possibly, I had asked myself why. What good would a guy who spoke out so much of the way about that? Will I serve in a service for accountability, transparency, integrity? If family comes to the board to seek approval to adapt the property to make their lives more abundant, I would always look for a way to say yes rather than say no. I've heard a lot of stories over the last year, all passed around everything else, all the history of zoning and things, township, and all the things that went with that. But I don't know, and it doesn't matter who I know, who I'm friends with, if I like somebody or don't like somebody. Everybody gets treated with dignity and respect, and that's who I am for those of you who don't know me, and I'm honored to consider, and you all well. Thank you.
Yes, Annie.
I was also listening to the West American video last week with Jesse, but I would like to, a few different things. First of all, if we wanted a variance to apply for one, it's $400 non-refundable. I'd like to just remind people that it costs $400 non-refundable dollars. So whilst it might be easy for some, it's not easy for everyone. And it's our property. We should be able to use our property how we would like. I understand Mark said that we were going to be 10 feet from the road. Why would we want to go from 10 feet from the road? it's not 10 feet from the road, but I think the bigger question is how come other people weren't also questioned why they were building something where they are building it. There's a really good legit reason that we're building it there. And then also to have something change, this has been spoken long before, it often does take one person to complain. Because we're not speaking for ourselves. That one person that comes in to complain is making a change for other people as well. Just like you're representing our whole community. We could be representing our entire R1 district, which is 7 men. But we are. So the point is that it does take one person, and we shouldn't feel bad about coming in and complaining about something that we feel doesn't make sense or is not common sense at all. So I heard that here in the live stream that one person, this is for one person. So be it. We shouldn't feel bad about that if we want to continue. Common sense.
Anybody else? Close public comment. Move on to the approval of minutes from the 20th of July and the special meeting after that. Okay.
Reconsideration into the Monday, July 20th. Richard made the motion. To reconsider from documents that it was valid. It was valid. Okay. Maybe that's what it was. You didn't know how much.
I did it.
Okay.
I don't remember what I did either.
Okay.
Anything else? Marv moves for approval. Support. Richard supports. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Vote the same. Board meeting minutes are approved. All right, moving on to the July 23rd special board meeting. Motion to approve them if no one has it.
Katie, I want to ask you out on the floor. You and I both talked about that. You had some concerns about one, I think. And you just want to make sure that's in there.
You mean in regards to looking at some things that
Yeah.
currently being used. I did have a comment that that parcels that were being used in ag were in R1, and perhaps we needed to reconsider some of those parcels in the boundary, in the area that bordered ag.
So it sounds like you're covered with that on the list. We've already talked to DCR. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. As much as I can remember.
There's on the video, Alex has it set up that it's closed caption. So because this was so much with all these different motions, I watched it while I wrote it. Like I had my notes, watched it, listened to it, and wrote it.
So if you want to change it, I can.
I'm good with it.
Okay, Bruce. Marv moved.
Support.
Richard supports. Any further discussion? No, all in favor say aye. Vote the same. Okay. All right, Darius?
Yep. Well, I spoke with Mark Meyer, he's the supervisor for Central Lake Township. And he would like to create some sort of a partnership between Hampton County Materials Management, Central Lake Township, and the waste receiving station to get fire shredder. As he's seen one work up in Emmett County, and he's also wondering if the conservation district could partner with that because they take in a lot of tires over a year. And so, anyways, he's probably going to come to next month's meeting at the conservation district and see if they would like to be a partner with it. But the last, tire trailer that they built in the winter, they had over 700 tires. And they had to turn that deep by the end of the conservation district cleaned up there. So, the one in Elm Rapids earlier this year, it never got going. They didn't not that long, but they had one more, one next month and that. And, I guess the bottom line is conservation district is making a lot of tires, and he thinks if they could get $7 to $8 a tire, the township, that they could pay for the machine for 3 or 4 years. And he thinks that they could use the material in a partnership with the road commission. They are making some of these tires, shredded tires for a base for certain roads, I guess. So anyway, it's interesting, and there'll be more come on that, obviously. I think most people know that 88 is scheduled to be closed starting today for 2 weeks, and they're putting in taking 2 36-inch culverts out, 2 72-inch culverts in, and major undertaking over there by the East Bush Baptist Church. This next meeting for the commissioners is Thursday, and I've talked before a lot about the special assessment district for fixing our chain and flared in, and I would just like to read something that's on our agenda here. Efforts have been made and continue to be made to work with Charlevoix County on the topic of the special assessment district. On July 22, Charlevoix County Board of Commissioners approved a resolution that, in part, noted that the board intends to appoint a designated authority to represent Charlevoix County in discussions and planning activities related to the proposed special assessment district. To date, however, that appointment has not taken place. To protect our residents and their property, it is important to move ahead with the creation of the upper chain special assessment district as soon as possible. And we are not fully comfortable giving a neighboring county a deadline. Further delaying the project for our county will eliminate any chance for a 2027 construction start date. Following resolution respectfully asks Charlevoix County to establish a designated authority for the upper chain special assessment district before October 1st. If they do not feel the need to, a smaller upper chain special assessment district, one whose northern limit is the north end of Wilson Lake, can be established. And then it goes on and says following is a draft resolution, and that it describes the steps that would be involved in the creation of a special assessment district. So, if we don't get approval from them by October 1st, we can't start construction next year. And if we can't start construction next year, the cost to start in 2028 goes up between 5 and 10%. I've had a lot of individuals that reach out to me and like to see this move forward. And obviously, our Dan Wemper, Leslie Myers, has been working on this for quite a while. So, if anyone has comments or concerns, let me know before the next commission. And the other thing I was going to mention is I did have a conversation with the people at the county. The last commissioner meeting, FEMA was there. And we watched the meeting from last week there at the beginning for like 20 minutes talking about setting up a place where folks can come in Central Lake. DFW, I believe it is. And I think that's starting tomorrow, next day. But anyway, it's on the website. And yeah, I'm thinking. And I asked them if those would be a possibility. So we had some really serious damage from the same storm. And they said that so far the emergency declaration that they have declared covers non-government homestead property. So if you have a private road that washed out, you can apply. And there are a lot of folks that have municipalities that will be given preference based on whether they have an agreement with FEMA. I asked them what those municipalities were, and they got back with me yesterday. And Banks Township as well. So we have an agreement in place, and it's supposed to be easier for constituents here from Banks Township to fill out the paperwork. I got a copy of the paperwork. It was pretty extensive. It's worse than doing your taxes, to be totally honest, but that's just my personal opinion. They, like I said, they are going to have people there to help. So if there's folks that want to apply, by all means.
Can I get a quick question? If you go to our website on the homepage, I put all my contact information. I have had people trying to contact me on this.
It directs you to the central league office. It gives you the phone number, the date, time, on the home.
It sounds like most of the aid for private roads is going to be either really low interest loan or no loan. In other words, they're probably not going to pay you to fix it, but you might be able to borrow the money at extremely low interest. That was the first information I heard.
So you're saying there's no point in the township to go there to make requests? You're gonna go do it?
He said there's 2 tiers of emergencies. The first tier that they do is local residents, property owners. Second tier is local governments, and they have not declared it for local governments because the village of Central Lake wanted to get some money too, because I mean they had culverts wash out within the village there. So I think it would be a waste of your time to me. John Roth is still working on it. At the county commissioner meeting a month and a half ago. He says he's going to apply in a couple different ways still. But I mean, like I said, like Alex said earlier, the ice storm, the road commission still hasn't gotten money from that. They said it's coming, but they still haven't got it. Yeah. Yeah.
Back to the tire shredder. I believe that work was done on People's Road with drum rubber that they used as an experimental, and I think that's how that's really well. Was there any talk of allowing Banks Township to use the dump site anymore? We used to be able to buy bags for shell property ownership, and we just got done and stopped sharing that service with Banks Township. Was there any conversation about the dump in general, not just cost sharing?
The same topic almost at North Lake Township,
Yeah.
because they had residents that used it, same sort of agreement. And Central Lake Township has, it's been costing them more than what they take in to run it. So they have no incentive to let more people use it to have it cost more. If they made it so that they could break even, I mean, if you had to pay $18 per bag, probably wouldn't do it anymore, you know? So I don't. It's been a topic of conversation, but it doesn't sound positive. Yeah.
Kind of the same theory on the tires to me. That we need to have something like that here. You gotta pay for labor, have somebody do it. And then if you're not willing to pay $10 to the co-op to take your used tires, you're probably not gonna pay $8 to the township to do it. Interesting thought. Maybe they can make it work. Usually it's more successful with some private taking on. Is there any market for change?
Sounds like what I heard, it's like they'll take them, won't charge you to take it, but they're going to pay you for it either.
I'm sure. Yep, thank you. George?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, so July, obviously, pretty busy month here in the township for us. The highlights: 11 911 AM calls dealt with 3 animal control. Excuse me, 3 animal control. I remember seeing my readers here. Only 2 fireworks complaints, which is good. Assisted on 6 structure fires. We had 5 personal injury accidents, 2 property damage accidents, and 6 traffic stops, and 7 trees down. And the sheriff, Commissioner Rubin and I were just talking about the sheriff applied for a grant through community mental health to get a cross-trained deputy that they're going to pay for. It will be a fully certified road patrol deputy and will also be cross-trained to work with community mental health. Obviously, mental health issues are huge in this day and age, and we live with it constantly. And have somebody on staff that's versed in it and knows the ins and outs is going to be a massive help for all of us. Benzie County and Manistee County, or Manistee City, have also had this for a couple of years and it's been very successful. So that is hopefully pending soon. We had a meeting with CMH last week and it sounds pretty positive moving forward with that grant. It's 5-year grant we're looking for. So somebody committed like 5 years. The sheriff has also put out there donation if anybody wants to donate for school supplies in schools. People have unbelievable response from this year. We've got our conference room in the back wall just full of backpacks and pencils and brain getting school stuff. So we'll be going around to schools here shortly, giving that stuff up to the different schools. Really positive outcome of that. And the Dare golf tournament is coming up. If anybody's a golfer, a fundraiser for Dare at Shenny Creek. It is on 27th of September. Shotgun 789 at the Hawkeye golf course. So, usually mind if I leave a couple players in the back too? So, a lot of fun. Good. Any questions, anybody?
Can you describe what is a 911 check? How does that work?
So what that is people call 911 and for whatever reason they hang up, or the line goes there to get it's disconnected. So with that, we obviously send somebody to make contact with that person who's calling to make sure they're okay. They could be held at gunpoint, or they could be having a medical issue, or there could be any number of reasons. Typically, they're not. Obviously, they're just you set on your phone, or you had something going on. Yeah, I mean, I actually listened to one the other day with a guy. I think he was at a farm, and he could hear the tractor going. Like the pocket dial. But he was okay. So yeah, we responded quite a few. So, and some of those are also like crash alerts, where you drive your phone, and the phone thinks it's been in a crash. So we make sure people are okay. So, not uncommon anymore. Yeah. Any other questions? No? George. Thank you. Yeah. You too.
All right. Yeah. So Jared's talking about the scrap tire reminded me. We actually got approved for the 2026 scrap tire grant. That's 8 weeks after we had our cleanup. So, but we can roll it over to next year. So we should be able to get a scrap tire truck for next year through that state grant, which is good. Ambulance Authority. Got big news over there. The authority is contracting with Point Valley Township. Did that. Well, we approved the contract to go to them on July 31st, and they approved it last week sometime. Voted to use Georgia Valley, which is good for everybody. They have some issues there that come get into about Point City and Point Valley's relationship, but it's a really good thing for us as an authority. And it gets 2 more trucks. It gets us, they're going to use their farm over there. So we'll be able to have people on site over there on the east side of the service area. And ultimately it allows us to hire a couple more people as well. And be able to eventually bring help over here. So we'll have some more, maybe not 24/7, but at least 12 on, 12 off kind of thing. Right here in outskirts. So it's a good thing, and we're continuing to get better and better over there. Definitely positive. Any questions?
Yeah, do we need to make a motion to allow their payment in August, like if anything in August? Remember they thought they would levy in July, was that in July? I thought we pushed it back to August.
without this notes.
I want the public to know that we are still practicing.
Yep.
Put
Oh, yeah,
right
no,
on our authority.
It's on our books and it's definitely on the board. So talk about it every month. How we can get that feedback. Yeah, it's roughly 100,000 or 110,000 a quarter. That's when Valley's going to be paying in, which is an awful lot. And it creates a whole lot more runs for us, which improves our revenue. Run revenue. 400, 440, I think is the number that's in that tag somewhere in there. So it's a win-win, I think, for everybody. It's a good thing. Looking forward to being able to serve those people as well. And it should improve. It should improve things across the entire service area. That's also. Yeah, we talked about the road closure on M88, and that's all going to come this way and up through C48 Howard Road. Be aware of that. And that will go on to the approving and paying the bills. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Also, with launch it, I think.
We did.
Yeah, we got the minutes and the videos there.
I'm curious about the tent.
And stuff.
Yeah. As someone who
stuff.
has a kid who keeps the tent in the yard, except for this summer, all summer long. I'm curious why we would add that. It's tent.
Concerned that in some places that this week on campers and in RV.
Could be. Discuss. And you don't have any language yet, so.
You're telling me you're worried about it.
Yeah, I am.
So then the other thing I have for the planning,
To convey that
I really don't like the tent.
some kids use tents all year long.
All year round.
I would be shocked if the planning commission wanted to make it so that kids could use tents. That would be.
How do you police that? Right? Like, how would you know the difference between a kid who has a tent in the yard and someone who's living in a tent? Like, you would be able to police that.
Okay, but again, like.
And why would you want to
You
police
would have,
that?
just like with RV, you have an RV at your house all year round. Use it all year round if you want to. It's in your yard. You're allowed to do that. Tents would be the same way, I'm sure. I'm not writing the language.
I
can
know.
possibly speculate
I
as
am the person
to what
that
people are going to do, but.
If you say this is the rule, you follow the rule.
Right? Yeah, but that's not my point. The rule is, I would be shocked if they made a rule that said you couldn't have a tent in your yard at your house.
So then my next question is, we had discussed this before. I'm looking, for anyone who sees me on my phone, I am looking for when we talked about the annual meeting. That's what I'm
You want me to
trying
look at the minutes online when you're?
Yeah, that's what I looked in May. I'm trying to remember when we did that. The other thing, my other question, we have talked about this before as a board of holding a training for the planning commission. And I discussed that again with the attorney because I think there's some disconnect there. And we've never gone forward with it. So it is $1,000 to have the attorney come and do a training with the planning commission and the zoning administrator. I reached out to the surrounding townships that have, I just did Andrews County, I did not have out of Andrews County, that also have zoning to see if they would be interested. So we could share the cost, and so far, Kearney Township is, Elk Rapids Township was going to let me know. Milton Township thought they were okay. They all wanted to wait and have their board meeting this week, so I wanted to know what the board's thoughts on that were, and if that is something that we actually want to move forward with. And it would be about a 4-hour class from the attorney with presentations and stuff, and it's what their job is, because there has been some questions and concerns raised lately. That should be addressed. No, would
but we need to that cannot happen.
First, is anyone interested in that?
Maybe we agree to have the attorney to come to planning commission meetings. Train them a little bit. I mean, nothing extensive as you're describing, but we did. I think
We already basically agreed that
What do we need to do to make that happen? Other than knowing that it's gonna cost us for her to do it, like, do I just tell her, okay, this is their next meeting, come to them? Well, that's if we do just a training. So, like, interview with other townships. So you can either do the train route, or you can do her coming to the meeting is about $500.
education. Vision every year.
We do. Mark's going. Patty sent it to the whole planning commission, and Patty and Mark are going. There's one in, next week. Every time they come in, I send it to Patty and have her share it with the board. So it would be easier if we did it. I get it, everyone's busy, they have jobs, they don't have time to take off to go spend a full day and a half a day somewhere else, but if we did it in the afternoon here, they're already here.
I feel personally, gathering notes, temperature of this township feels beneficial, especially when you can split it.
Right. And for sure, there's one other concept. She just had their board meetings after ours. Michelle was gonna run it by her board. Everyone sounded like they were on board though that she spoke to before. So we can for sure already say we're gonna go with that. And I'll grab the people and let you know. And it's here. Which I'll see all the clerks Wednesday. We're doing a round table with David and the clerk.
It's totally done. I was on the planning commission. I think that it would be kind of natural.
If they don't want to go, then I'm gonna bring it to them. Right?
I don't think it's not on that. I think it is hard for people
But
to
if right.
take like
So
a
I should
Wednesday
say, yeah.
and do a Frank noon.
But that's why I shouldn't say not want to go, not able to go. So if they're not able to go, but they're able to come here for a meeting.
To be honest, zoning is litigious. It has become more complex. It has become more serious than it's ever been. And I think it would be a great investment. If the planning commission is on board with it, I think it would be a great investment in our planning commission and in other townships that we want to share. It would be a good opportunity for the planning commission to network with other planning commissions too. That might be helpful.
And it's not just our township that is in the same boat right now. There are a lot of different issues in all the townships around us.
Continuing working with the other concepts.
You and two other people.
Right.
And I get it.
I would be happy to go.
I know, doesn't mean I,
These specific topics, it's not topic tree.
right,
I
and
mean,
this
how about
is,
some literature or manual, just nothing. I can give you nothing.
this would be specific training for the planning commission. It's not like that is specific topic. This is what she's proposing to do. Is supposed to run, supposed to do their job. Because she's seeing something not done properly and she wants to fix it. And as a planner and our attorney, we should take her up on it. You know, this is not a bad thing. And all of motion or anything. I just need to know how you guys feel. Richard, you take it to Patty and talk to Patty about it and let Patty know what's going on, because I feel I'm waiting for other townships to get back to me to say yay or nay, because if we can share the cost, let's share the cost. If I have to go outside of Charlevoix or inter-county and into Charlevoix, I will.
It would be down at least a couple months at this point.
Possibly.
We're right in the middle of half the season.
No, so we would be going to Blair and here.
It would be here. It would be here.
It was
would
our
be
idea,
here.
so it's here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, it's here. Because it was my idea.
Right on.
We would host. Yes, we're going to host.
Yeah, I'm good with you continuing down that path.
Okay.
At some point, I'll have to ask the planning commissioners if they can.
I think it would work around like their actual meetings. Yes. So we'll go from there.
Good. All right. Now we're on to paying the bills.
Yeah.
Plunkett Cooney, Tuesdays, we okay there, 32?
Plunkett Cooney?
Yeah.
That's our attorney. That's our attorney.
Yeah, there's,
They represented us in the last few cases.
so is the question, insurance companies.
Insurance, the limit for the insurance company was $10,000. That's the overage. But that's it.
Okay.
Any others?
Not take a motion to pay the bill. Pay them.
I'll do
Really moved.
support.
Okay, support. Any further discussion? All right, not all in favor, say aye. Aye. Vote the same.
Just because the checks are more expensive, just so you know. There is election workers in here, so in case anyone's curious. What I'm working on, I have until like December to get that. It's a huge process. The state will only reimburse now for early voting wages, which was $4,284. They will not reimburse for election day or anything on election day anymore. So for Bing Township, we had 50 voters. That totaled roughly $85.68. And I talked to the workers, we did potluck style food. If they were willing, if they weren't willing, then we'll have to go. But it is stayed huge. I can't get reimbursed. So another tractor.
Unfunded mandates.
So I am pushing for the next election. The majority of the election workers were completely fine doing potluck style. I think they needed more time. There's a couple who said absolutely not. I don't believe in myself, which I get. I'm not. That's fine. And I said that they could either just then come and you don't have to bring anything. But I'll be better prepared for the next one. Because we just had like some breakfast snacks and then lunch and sandwich stuff. And everyone kind of brought something and shared it. It worked really well.
All right, on the whole business section here, property review. Start out with the railroad resurfacing from Center Street to Church. We've got a quote here from Summer Solutions for $13,140 to trees, spread and compact and gravel. Oh, that's like what? It's true. You definitely say in here on the geotextile. Yep. I don't remember it though. Dylan said specifically one happened to that. Apologize, I don't remember it.
How wide is it? It'll be down 8 feet.
What are the chances that after mulching is correct?
After he packs it from pretty darn walking together.
It's a lot better than regular gravel stuff.
Well, true. Yeah, on that hill, I imagine it washed up my driveway too, but that whole real grade, real grades are. So I mean, it's awesome. It's awesome.
Trying to remember the details of why was it we're doing this? Just in case somebody needs something underneath it or what?
So they contact Vector, I think is the word they used.
They exceeded ground contact numbers, right? It's unsafe.
And potentially in a couple of spots. And so this would satisfy Eagle's requirements, and you wouldn't have to worry about doing a whole bunch of more testing on it, and digging things up before it over being built. Hold on, think about it again. So much not drilling wells, stirring up dirt with building and things of that nature.
How many problems do they have? That's fine.
You can do that. It doesn't satisfy Eagle's requirements, but it's not a bad idea to help people and put signage up. I don't know how bound we are right now. I don't know the question, but it's a known quantity now, so pretty much got to deal with it. Figure it out.
Where would we take the money from?
Reserve comes to mind, but
Yeah, I thought there was something in there. Testing is going to be our responsibility. That we can't just say, oh, that's not what we're going to sign up. I don't think we have that. That was my understanding when I read that.
yeah, just go back and reread it again. See, yeah, it's better to just take care of it and not worry about it. We have to ask that question in the future. It comes to be addressed. Done. Lots of people use that trail.
By the way, too, the testing and sediment and scared people. We're going back and find out from the railroad grade through Skinner Creek into the is that something the township would be responsible for?
But I can ask that question and confirm the asking versus gravel question. We can address it next month. I'll get with Dylan and I'll ask that other question as well. Yep. 180 and get it. 48. Okay. On to cemetery trees. You said that quote on the regular tree.
Yeah.
We hereby submit the bid as Great Lakes Excavating on Farmers Road, Charles White, to remove 7 very large spruce trees, remove approximately 60 bushes and smaller trees with their stumps grinding in 6 inches below surface, fill stump holes with spring topsoil. All debris off site, breaking clean up and dirt area is $18,450. Cemetery, 18,000 cemetery.
One great big small one.
Yeah. But, you have that
I talked to him. He's going through some personal things right now, so he kind of took the last month off work. So that's why these quotes didn't come in until this morning. No, because he was, we're gonna meet out there and then what happened. He had talked to him. It was the last weekend in July.
the last time I said. So then I went to somebody else. This guy came over. He came right out. But I think it's big.
We can ask Ralph Ryan.
I don't know if I have to compare it anyway, but he would get it done so that we could get to see it yet.
Great.
Do you want to ask Ralph?
I'd love to get somebody else.
Do you want to ask Ralph or do you want me to call? I do. Up to you.
The way I worded my last contact with him also, if he brought up something, so maybe that was considered anyway.
Yeah, it's okay.
But you know, not that it's all I still think it should be done. It should be done hard and dry.
Nothing gets crushed when it's wet.
Okay. See you guys. Okay. And that's Thomas Street doing? Okay.
Alright, moving on to the retaining wall. Outside, so we got another quote to slope the area, get it right down to the, take grass right down to the concrete. slope.
We're just looking at it briefly, and assuming that it would be the same kind of stone shown on the top face.
So what is the issue? Is it making the drive too narrow, or what is the issue? I think that's a well.
Pretty sketchy. Perfectly.
And we thought about making that like just an exhale there one way. That is a hard turn to make. Hit the building. I think it's going down. Is that the store? Yeah, or the, it's easy to exit that. That's a right turn. Yeah. Your passenger.
I'll make the motion to go along with the draft proceeding. So,
So that means removing all rocks and rocks, getting it down to grade or you said you could slow that as long as there's no underground utilities and then the door top of there. I'm gonna look at it. Cause I look at it and I don't see my concern is the part this is a building, it's a tree wall.
part that would really be put in looking at.
I don't know I know something needs to be done, right? And you guys, there's $7,000 number, $7,000 for you guys, like, send it back. Like, how could we do this differently? I have no idea. But we need to call and ask him.
That's support for Mark's motion.
You know,
Well, it does very specifically say there's no, assuming no underground utilities.
it became concept of proceed, we have to go back to it, I guess.
I think I'd rather pay the extra $3 to get the rocks redone. What we're gonna have at the end of it, that is just way too steep to going home for sure.
If Marvin's willing to let him dig through his rock,
Gotta go.
Well, that's what I said
I've got
too. I got rocks too.
but
But labor to go get them. Yeah.
then comes getting them. If he's gonna that take is number rock.
Alright,
I'm glad to know that. Yeah.
okay, any other discussion? We'll go with Katie? Julie? Mark? Richard?
Sorry.
Yeah. Alright. I'll make a motion to do a $7,000 option. Wall rocks and put in 3-inch fabric and reinstall rock.
Support.
See, like those reinstall rock.
Right, you gotta make sure that you're talking about what you see on it. Or you see the use of it.
Small.
And then another thing is what the drainage that's there, there's a downspout that ends right up that building, that's gotta come out through that wall and dump on the driveway. That's just a short one right now. That's to fix that wall. We gotta get the water.
Okay, any motion and support on the floor? Any further discussion? Roll call, Katie? Julie? Marv? Richard? Okay. Front door mechanism,
We're still waiting.
still waiting on that.
Not like last time.
What year when you get?
So they came out and all they did so far was made sure, which I haven't heard
I can
back.
talk about it. So we've got the door mechanism ordered. We're down here.
And
We found out at the last meeting that there's another swinging door up on the second floor. So they wanted to make sure that it was the same. So in order to get all three of the keys the same, they needed to order them at the same time. So they came out here. They had another meeting in Good Samaritan. We didn't get the inquiry service charge for them to come out here to look at it. So we take them with that. So they got all three of those ordered. When they come here to install those three handles, they're going to take that door apart. Now, right now in its current state, that door does not work. I cannot lock that door. The guts are blown out of it and I cannot lock it. I'd like to know from the board what you'd like me to do with it, because it is a commercial building. It is an egress. If I zip tie it or lock it, make it where it's inoperable, I don't know if that becomes an egress issue and liable if something were to happen. I mean, I can make it temporarily inoperable with some zip ties and make it to where it doesn't open, but right now that front door is open. I cannot lock it.
the sheriff's department needs to do butter knives.
Yep. I mean, well, the left side locked, right?
The left side locks, but the right side doesn't. So I can zip tie the one side to the other side or ratchet strap it or do something.
The idea is, can we ratchet strap from the right side to that railing still, like we had done before?
I can do that.
I mean, so somebody can still get out the left side, I mean, worst case scenario, we have slam latches to get out here.
Yep.
Panic bars down here.
I can do that.
That's probably my opinion, one guy that's probably.
There needs to be egress, like one like here, one small.
We are good into a
If we have, we can certainly take it off for that,
Okay, gotcha.
put it back on after the fact.
Yes, you're the one that keep your other. Anyone upstairs?
maybe upstairs is not into this middle.
section, records, closet, door.
No,
Talked about doing that.
that closet's too small. We talked about keeping the closet upstairs, but the election workers cannot lift those heavy containers up on that stage, no matter where they go. So this is our option, and we're going to go into the closet, into the closet in here. David mentioned doing the roll door. And while I see the merit in it, if anything, I don't think it would look good.
Well, if it lived here for the first grade, or 4 times.
What about a women's bathroom?
That's true. It is on the path to the women's bathroom, which is why I don't see it.
So we don't have a lot of space here anyways. So I've got a ton of records in my office and boxes that have to be moved. So we have to pay their planning commission records and I know where to put them. That would free up that space for that stuff. So the other side is a mix of assessor records. That office is bursting with assessor records. So he needs somewhere to put everything. It's got Katie's records in there. It's got some of my records in there. It's so full you cannot put anything else in the closet. And then realistically, we need to think about something we had talked about before, using the kitchen closet for renters for cleaning supplies and that kind of sort. Keep them out in the janitor's closet where all of our servers are, the furnace equipment, and people don't need to be in there. So we have a storage use issue in general. And I know Marlene is, it's a lot for her to have, because it's got her village records, and our records right there, the assessor records right there. A section of that closet, of that office that's just township things. We definitely need to figure something out.
That closet could be accessed from, that could be closed off in that location, and just add village access, obviously, the village district in to that closet, once that room. Easy. Yeah, but I'm just saying, could there be a closet built in there for the village for stuff and more, and then a new closet built for election stuff?
That's like a bar area though, like, way people having that, that club, like you said, a bar, stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, tomorrow, so one of the issues is those, like, big machines and heavy things, they would have to go up and down in the lift. They can't be.
Election boxes and materials, and some places had that. They'd go up the lift and put them in a storage upstairs, and it works. But it's another step, I grant you.
If we have to build one, I'd rather just do it down here. If that's what we wanna.
I'd rather do that than spend thousands of dollars on a lock for those little closets with bifold doors.
Yeah.
Or new doors. I'd rather build a new closet.
I'm with you on that. I thought out there where we walk in, if you look, there should be enough room to put a closet out there.
And then the one under the stairs is too small. But that's
Oh,
kind
it's
of that's where
definitely-
salt is stored
Yeah.
and things that are
It's
useful for the
definitely-
shovels.
So you think there's room in the hallway for a closet? Julie, is that what you said?
I mean, I'm not a builder, right? But if you look at it, there's, once I got all those tables and everything out of there, I don't see why not. If you think of how big that closet is right now that we're using, it's not a huge space.
Right, but if you look at it, there's, once I got all the
But if I could get, so that closet has the bigger thing with the election stuff is there's election stuff in that closet. The stuff that's in that closet is the voting booths, the signs that have to go outside. Not the plastic signs are back there. It's the coverings for when I switch them out for early voting is in there. I think one of the printers is in there. The stuff that didn't matter as much as the records, and it's bigger and it takes up the whole bottom floor. Where again, if I didn't have that in there, I can't put it in the other closet. There's no room for it. And if I didn't have it in there, then I wouldn't have to have all the planning commission records in my office. It's a storage problem.
Lots of room in
That's a
there.
whole nother.
Well, and there's room up above in the fire hall too, I think. I mean, I'd have to ask Mark, but up above their training room, there's a bunch of room up there. I mean, it's hard to get to. It was long-term storage, so maybe we'll utilize that. But that'd be easier. It's right next door.
Can we have Jesse and Julie and maybe one other investigate those things and come back with a recommendation?
Works for me.
But that'd be easier than right next door.
You want to help them, Katie, and you have stuff too?
Well, I mean, I think we should all come forward with ideas about how we think it should be, how it should, how and what. Yeah.
Okay. Next, we move those who don't need to buy these doors, which we can probably get done. Okay. Good. Propane.
Okay, so I sent you guys a letter from Crystal Flash, and while it is cheaper because it's $1.99 per gallon, where the co-op is $2.12, Crystal Flash also charges $19.03 per delivery, which then puts their price over the Farmers Exchange, and the Farmers Exchange does not charge. It's the $2.12 per gallon. There's no extra fees.
So it wasn't apples to apples when you look at it. When we dug down, we found that there was there's not hidden charges, but additional charges with other companies.
And they don't do any pre-buy programs for commercial accounts. So it wouldn't even matter if we bought it ahead like we do with the Farmers Exchange. We get no deals.
They don't do any prepaid, but we're more than welcome to pay it to buy 1,000 gallons. Okay.
Do we need a motion or?
Yes.
I move we go with the Farmers Exchange, keep it local.
So it's, you have to add to your motion, we need to do 1,000 gallons.
Oh.
Or was it eight, we did 750 last year and we ended up a little bit short because it was a colder winter.
800, I think we were.
And we got a 500 gallon tank out there? Wow.
So it's on automatic fill.
Yeah.
I think it was in the month of December where they filled it a little bit more than normal.
So what happens if we go with 1,000 gallons and use 800? What happens to the other 200?
It
rolls over to the next year.
So
we have some rolled over from last year?
No.
Oh.
We went over.
Oh.
We used more than
we used more. So then we get charged what the going rate is, not the two. I called and asked if they would because of what we went over, and they said, "Too bad, so sad. You get the going rate." I tried. So I would like to order. If we did 750 last year, 1,000 is high, and you guys, it was always. I looked back at past and how it was done, and 1,000 is definitely on the high side.
So what did we use last year?
About 800. So if you wanted to do
let's go 850. We don't want to be too much over, I don't think. If you're optimistic that Trump's going to get us out of this war, then energy should come down, but...
Well, he's not going to make it warmer. I mean, if it's cold, it's cold.
So, do you want to restate your motion with that in it?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Farmers Exchange with 850 pre-buy.
Okay, or support.
Okay, motion and support. Any further discussion? Not all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same.
Do we have a check or do we need to approve a check to be cut tonight? Cause it's due by
August 21st.
this weekend.
Yeah, we need to approve a check to get
Okay,
it
so we
signed.
need to approve a check for that amount.
So it is $1,874.08.
Well, I would move that we add a check to tonight's checks for $1,874.08
I'll support
to
it.
the Ellsworth Farmers Exchange.
Do you want to double check my math?
So,
You supported it, Julie?
Yeah.
Okay, any further discussion? Not all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, pose the same. Okay, on to the sign for the hall here.
So the sign out front was made
All in favor, say aye.
by Robert Hibble, I want to say he said around 20 years ago. Could have been longer. And it's never been touched up. From a distance, it looks fine. If you get up close to it, you can see. He was here, his daughter had a wedding here, and he looked at it. So I gave you guys a quote for it to clean, sand, and do 2 coats of the enamel to refinish the sign for labor and materials is $475. And then there's another quote, the above our doors, there's a sign, and there's a quote to build 2 new carved signs. They'd be 30 by 6, and one would say Township and one would say Village, and they would be $325 each, and they would match the sign out front. So, any questions?
So the signs are, what's the material again? Is it a resin or you say, I'm sorry.
It's the same sign he's the one who built the sign out there.
Okay, from the one out front.
Yes,
Thank
he
you.
built
Okay.
that sign.
Okay.
So he would refinish what's there,
Mm-hmm.
and then this is for replacing the 2 above our
Yep.
doors here.
Yep, nice, okay. So $650. Have we talked to the village about them paying for their sign?
Not yet, I wanted you guys to,
Okay. I'm sure they would have no issues with it. Yeah, they did good work, yeah.
cause it lasts, and I can ask them, so if we wanna, how we approve that. It lasted this long and it looks that good.
Mm-hmm.
Was my math right?
No, I think there was, because we gotta add the 6% sales tax.
4%.
That's for
Oh.
residential.
Okay,
So we
I
gotta,
looked at that wrong.
I come up with 19, 10, 12. On fuel, we're tax exempt, but they told you we're not tax exempt on the tax, right? Or are we?
No, we're
we are-
tax exempt.
We are sales tax
Yeah, we're
exempt.
tax exempt.
Okay.
So it's 850 times 212.
Yeah, we don't pay it at other places.
We're tax exempt. So then it should be 1802.
Yep.
Okay.
I would move that we have the 2 signs done and have the one out front refinished or whatever.
Support.
And that would be, that we do the village sign, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that'll be my next motion. But we're gonna like to do all of it, and then I would make a motion that we ask the village for
To do the 3.
to pay for that. I mean, it's our building. It looks nice. I don't think they'll have an issue with it, but
I'd like you to put them motions together into one.
I know, but then it gets confusing when we have multiple motions. And
I like the 2. Okay, so the first motion is to approve the work for the 3 signs. Correct?
correct. Refinishing and 2 new ones, village and township.
Alright. Next one.
The next motion would be to ask the village to pay $325. But do we need motions?
Who supports?
Richard did.
I did.
Richard supported that, okay?
Yep.
Any discussion? Not all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same? Okay. Now you can go.
And then the motion would be to ask the village for $325 to pay for the village sign.
All right.
Support.
Miles Marv.
Yep.
Yep.
Any
Okay.
further discussion on that one?
But if they say they're broken, they're not gonna do it, we're just gonna cover it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's our building
I think
and it
we
looks, the signs are falling down,
Yeah,
yeah.
pretty bad.
Right.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Okay. Cool. So there was some comments earlier, before we did the approval of the agenda about signage for the cemeteries.
Could they quote us, could
Yeah.
the same company get a quote for our cemeteries? Because the one, you know, some people might come in the winter and those signs are hard to see.
You can barely see the one in Atwood.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people
little
come from out
tiny.
of town for the funerals and to visit graves of loved ones. It'd be nice if it was just really obvious where they are.
So the one thing I want to see if he can put on there is Celebrate Life. They gave me the QR code, and
Sure.
I can either make my own flyer or they can make a flyer for us, and we can have a
They
flyer on there.
Can't they just attach it to the sign where you can scan?
That's
Yeah.
what I want to ask him if he can do that.
Sure, I'm sure I can.
So I'll get a quote for the cemeteries. Do you want just Atwood and Ellsworth? I can't picture right now what Antrim City looks. If Antrim City has one,
I don't think that it has a sign or if it is
the
not
Catholic
much.
one has a rock.
Mhm.
Yes, the Catholic one has a beautiful rock and a plaque. I would say Atwood and Ellsworth for now, and then I
Okay.
just got to drive out there and look at, go on Old Dixie and take a look.
Okay.
So are we talking about a freestanding,
A little bit
Post-
raised so you can read it, and it would look like the one out front
Ellsworth.
that's carved and would just
because
basically.
there's some kind of a little sign on the front of that building.
We also talked about removing the building too, though.
Oh, boy.
You mean what little building? And Atwood?
The little
Ellsworth?
morgue, the morgue at the Ellsworth Cemetery.
Oh, gotcha.
There's a tiny sign on the building, yeah. So this would be
I wonder,
At the
so,
entrance?
Yeah.
since it's all related, I should disclose that John Hastings called me sometime since our last meeting,
Mhm.
and he heard about, that we had talked about removing the building, and he would be very opposed to that. He said he called, because I had called Mortensen, and they said, yeah, we haven't used it in years, I don't see a problem with it. But he had a very different story. He talked to Mortensen and said, yeah, I think we're probably gonna start using it again. So, that's what it was built for.
I'll talk to Ron and Holly and find
I
out.
don't wanna argue with John Hastings
No.
in that realm.
Yeah. Right.
So, in that case, we probably need to fairly soon, well, we need to decide on it. If we're gonna keep it, I think it needs to work.
Mhm.
The wood part of it's deteriorated pretty badly, and if it was fixed up, that would be a nice place to put a sign.
Yeah.
So we don't have to have more posts and something else to weed whack around
Sure.
and get torn up, and,
Okay, so then maybe just Atwood?
Just
Get the
that
quote?
one, yeah.
yeah, I think it'd be nice to wait on.
I'm gonna make that motion.
If you wanna talk to
Well,
Mortensen's
I
again.
I don't
you
even
can
need a
ask him for
motion,
No,
it's
you
just
don't.
a
I'll get a
general,
quote,
yeah.
I'll get a quote.
Okay. Sounds good.
I'll call him about this and then I'll ask him to go to get one for the next one.
Mhm.
All right.
Before you leave, I'm gonna print that check.
Moving on to the new best business section. The air conditioner had a was it mouse nest or something like that. It was actually, I take it back. It was like a buildup of something in where the condensate.
We'll call it
Thumbs up.
human hair and crud.
Yeah,
Looks like
stuff.
a Tootsie Roll.
Anyway, it was blocking that, and so it caused a lot of condensate to just get run into the room, rather than going through the drain tube like it's supposed to. Did get fixed, but Randy Weiss is the one who worked on it, and he thought probably about 2 years. They'd probably have to look at replacing that air conditioner and maybe the furnace too. So just put that on your radar. Something to think about. It'll probably be before us at some point. So, it's working okay now, but it's pretty old. So, all right, budget amendments. Julie and I had taken a little bit to get connected. These are the new account numbers from the state of Michigan on here, and it's just a little bit different format. Julie had seen it at another meeting, and she liked it, so I put that into Excel. If anybody wants something a little bit different or wants some changes to it to make it more readable, please let me know. I can see what I can. But I don't have any specific budget amendments tonight. the big one would be where we're gonna pull the zoning board of appeals, stuff from.
But I don't have the specific.
We spent $1,431 thus far,
The big one.
on the ZBA.
That was, just so everyone realizes, that was previously mixed in with the planning commission.
Mhm.
So it is now pulled separately,
$31 thus far.
which is why you're seeing it like that.
ZBA.
So when we approved our budget, we approved the planning commission as a whole, which included the ZBA. And when we did the new chart, when I did the new chart of accounts, per the auditor, it has to be pulled separate.
So, could you realize that that would have been in the hourly wages, or not, maybe not?
Possibly,
CBA was so infrequent though.
Yeah,
It
It,
is.
it could
so
go years without
Right.
meeting, and then there could
Exactly.
be 6 in 2 months.
which is what happened here.
Mhm.
So you cannot pull it right now from hourly wages. That is on with the wage increase. The only part you could possibly take it from is under contracts, the 101-701-825.
That's the second reader line
Yeah.
item.
You know, you could possibly pull some from miscellaneous. I wouldn't take it from publications. Any thoughts?
Working on it.
You need to do that tonight?
Not necessarily. We could look at it and do it in September. Ideally, we would fix it tonight. Are we doing an audit this year? I thought we were doing one next year.
Next year.
Okay, so there's $1,100 there. That plus the 600 would cover the ZBA.
Well, but there is, where's the audit? So that $1,100 though will go to cover taxes, and we have an F-65 to pay for.
Okay.
So that's
That's
what-
it's like
Yeah.
accounting.
So we're not doing an audit, which is like 6,000 or 7,000, but
yeah.
the F-65 he has, and I haven't gotten a bill for that yet. And then
Change that.
he'll file taxes for us, and that's another like $600 or $700. So we can't take that.
And what is miscellaneous again? What are we using that for? That's
Nothing because of how I broke it apart. in the
yes, I'm
account.
looking at that 261,960.
So we could realistically leave even just take 600 from the miscellaneous and move that over, but we're still.
And what is we have a balance of 2,000 in the community outreach. What was that? So is that the rec program, fireworks and pig roast?
Mhm.
And
Yeah, we're gonna
the
break that
firework.
out into individual lines.
So are we, then we still
The
have
fire
2,000?
department.
So that's usually like $1,000
That's
that we
usually
do
about, yeah, $1,000.
for the fire extinguishers, et cetera,
Yeah.
et cetera.
And Alex asked earlier if I would break that apart so everyone can see where it's coming from. I can. So
Well, I
we
just-
could take $1,000 from there.
That's what I'm thinking, because I think we've met our
Besides the,
obligations.
Let's do it.
so you want to take 1,000 from 101-756-880 and move it into 101-702-704.
Yeah.
So I'll make a motion. that.
And then we took some from, are we taking any from
We're
two
gonna have
sixty?
to.
101, 701, 960.
Yeah. Can it all be one motion?
Yep.
Okay.
Do $500 from that.
Okay.
101, 701, 960.
Two.
$500 from that.
I'm just gonna say 101, 702, because it's gonna be broken apart.
Cause we need
Yeah, that's
14
fine.
and that gives us 15.
Yeah, and for how I gotta break it apart. Okay, who supports?
I'll support it.
Mark? Okay,
Okay. Alright, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
did you
Opposed,
see?
same.
Okay, so then the other budget amendment we should do is page 1. The first one we didn't figure in is for trustees for the extra meeting wages. And then the other one is the under supervisor for the appointed wages.
Are the trustees going to any seminars or classes anytime this year? Can we take it from their education?
We could for now.
Mhm.
If they go
But that
with-
doesn't even require amendment.
Yeah, we don't need an amendment for
Okay.
that.
Yeah, so I would say take
Just
it,
take it and
just
then
move it,
if they wanna do education, we'll figure it out.
then it'll be a different, then it'll be a new story.
Okay, and
That doesn't
then,
even require.
do you plan on taking any classes?
I don't have any right offhand.
You wanna just move that for now?
Yeah, just do that
It
for right
will
at the
still
moment. We'll come back to that. and-
move it and then come back?
What?
You want me to move it for
Yeah,
now?
that's fine. All within the same, so within the same account, for activity. So that's fine.
Okay,
Okay. Anything else with that for the moment?
This is very nice with those colors. That makes it a lot easier to follow. I did followed that better this time than I've ever followed it.
thank you.
It does look good, huh?
I worked very hard on this. I did,
I'm the
well,
one
you put
who
it,
put in Excel. Spent
Because
a
I
whole
guessed
weekend
you
dealing with this thing.
because I found it, and I had
Yes, you
this great
found it.
idea and said, make this happen, and you made it happen.
You did a lot of work on the accounts.
Yes,
That's
I
great.
did.
Both of you. Thank you.
Because I found
Alright,
it.
moving on,
And I
ZBA
had this great
appointments.
idea and said,
Alright, I'm
Make
gonna
this
make an
happen.
appointment of, Pat McGuire to be a regular member of the ZBA, ending, 6/30/27.
We didn't make a
Oh, we
motion.
didn't?
No, we didn't make,
Thank you.
we did not make a motion.
No, the first one we do need to do.
We did.
I thought we did vote, yeah, we voted.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't
Right.
need to on the other ones, cause
We
they're
don't
in the
need
same
to,
activity.
yeah, we moved them in the same category. And the second one, I did it all as one. The second one, we just moved from the same fund.
The first one you did.
It's not moving from account to account.
Yeah, we don't need to.
Okay, so everyone understands what that means.
Okay.
If you look at our budget, which I will post online, what we're going through, there is different departments. So, for example, trustees, which is 101, 101, 101. Okay, so if for the trustees fund, we budgeted 7450. It is broken down between salaries, meeting wages, education, mileage, and meals. In that account alone, we can move money. If there wasn't the 400 there to move from education to cover the meeting wages, we would have to move it from somewhere else. I cannot move it on my own. The board has to approve to move it from fund to fund. Within the fund, we
Activity
move
to
it.
activity technically, 'cause we're not moving it from fund to fund. But yeah, that's great.
So that's why we needed a motion to move the money to cover the ZBA, because it was coming from a different activity.
You did it right.
Yeah, just
We're
so everyone understands like what we're doing and why we're doing it that way. So,
Alright, on to the ZBA appointments. I'm gonna make an appointment of, Pat McGuire to be a regular member of the ZBA ending 6/30/2027.
Support. Or I will move to accept your appointment.
Motion, Julie supports, any discussion?
ZBA ending 6/30.
Alright, then all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same? Okay. my first alternate, Catherine Drayton, and these we haven't even had ZBA alternates for a long time, so it's kind of just starting over here. So I'm gonna make that appointment ending 6/30 of 2029 to be a 3-year appointment.
And I would move to accept your appointment for Catherine Drayton as an alternate. Thank you.
Starting over here, so I'll make
I'm just making a motion that it ends 6/30 of 2029.
I got that. I'll support that. Did you say when Pat's would end?
Yeah, 6/30 of 27.
Okay. Sorry.
Nope, you're fine.
Okay, go ahead.
On these alternates, is there a first and second alternate, or how do they choose who's the alternate for who?
It's a fair question. I don't know.
Torch Lake Township has alternate number 1 and alternate number 2.
Okay. Well, given that we got the one ending in 29, then I was going to make Paul the next one end in 28. I would, I guess, figure that Catherine would be number 1 and Paul would be number 2. Does that work?
Sounds great.
Maybe flipping coins.
And probably whoever you call first, whoever can make it.
Yeah, I mean that's some of it, and then you got to deal with conflicts that may exist. You know, if you live right next door to the person, you got to recuse and all that stuff.
Well, because it seems like if you needed an alternate, it would be kind of an emergency situation when one of your regulars, so you would need, it would be whoever you could get.
Yeah. Yep.
If you live right next door to the person,
Well, it seems like if you needed an alternate, it'd be kind of.
So we got a motion
make the
supported. Well, I think Katie made the motion.
You
So I
supported.
supported that.
Yep,
I thought
motion
we were moved on to
support.
the next.
Any further discussion? Okay, if not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed the same. Okay, and then I'll appoint Paul McCanowitz as alternate number 2 ending 6/30 of 2028.
favor say aye.
I'll make that motion.
Vote the same. Okay.
Support.
Marv supports.
Paul McCanowitz says
Any discussion?
number 2 ending 6/30.
Excuse me, if not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed the same. Cool. Well, thank you all for your service and willingness to help out. Appreciate that. Anything else?
Is Catherine here?
Yep.
Okay.
That's Catherine.
Nice to meet you.
All right. Anything else? Oh, I've meant to come back to this. Sorry. The Historical Society, we were talking about the storage. There's a roof leak over there, so we gotta start figuring something out with the moisture. I am glad. I couldn't remember this morning when I was talking to Julie about it. I thought it was a flat roof, so I'm pleased to see it's not.
There's a cricket by the chimney that's leaking. It's coming in. And,
Oh, what?
I couldn't remember this morning when I was.
fireplace, the stove, the chimney goes up on the east side.
Yeah.
Since the rake is rolling, the heat is running into it, they put a cricket, it's a little
Flashing
little
thing.
valley set that goes up against the chimney.
Okay.
All the
Fireplace,
water gets
stove,
diverted over to the
chimney,
outside of it.
up on the east side.
Water's been running in through there at that unit. I had Jake Zoka look at it, and he said that the roof needs to be
There's valley set.
The whole thing or just that area?
He said at this point, you
Probably the whole deal. Okay.
So then on inside where it's leaking down the chimney, the wallpaper's starting to peel away.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a whole fun issue behind that.
Moisture
Yeah.
damage.
And then at the front of the building, there's a leak too on the inside, and it's damaging the front wall too.
Yeah. So I guess next step is get some quotes on roofing. I mean, you got to steal the envelope before you fix the inside. So, is that all right with everybody? Go get some quotes. Okay, cool.
So I guess.
Anything else from board business?
I think we should make a motion for JV EMS Authority to move the payment back.
Okay.
It will be a levy on December, so I'm going to say by December 31st of this year. That would be my motion. Because I don't anticipate there's going to be a windfall before the tax levy in the winter.
Not a windfall. I mean,
Okay.
Point
December
Valley's gonna
when?
pay their
December
portion,
31.
that's not a windfall. We need to keep that to keep things running.
Yeah, my motion is that we move that date from August 1st to December 31st.
Okay.
And we'll take it before then,
Yeah, right, exactly.
but if they can't, then we need to, I'm not sure what we're gonna start doing, but they've doubled their millage.
we'll take it to
So
four
a
months
motion, do you support?
Yeah, right, good.
when it kicks in.
To what date? I'm sorry.
December
December
31st.
31st, 2026.
Thank you. All right, motion and support. Any discussion?
To what date?
Um,
Sorry.
all right, then, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Okay. Anything else? Any other board business we attend to? If not, I'll open up public comment. Catherine?
Hi, it's Catherine Drayton, Banks Township. Thank you for letting me to be active and including me in all this. I really appreciate it and I'm really excited about it. Also, I noticed, you had mentioned a class in zoning earlier. I'm wondering if the ZBAs and the alternate would be allowed to participate in that class about zoning, because I would like to learn as much as possible.
So I talked, can I,
Go ahead.
okay, I did talk to the attorney about that, about including the planning commission, the ZBA, and the zoning administrator. She said let her know who was willing and they would plan accordingly, so I've already.
I would love to be a part of that, because I know I'm an alternate, and if flyers are available, I don't wanna walk in completely not knowing besides what I can look up. I'd like to have some type of training, so that way I can make the best informed decision that I can.
Well, and I can let you know too when MTA has classes.
That'd be awesome.
When we're done, give me your email. I know I do have your email.
You might, if not, I can give it to
Yeah.
you, that's no problem.
Give me your contact information, and as we see stuff, I can let you know.
Yep, love to. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Any other public comment?
I'll do what she did, what she said as well.
I have your contact information.
Anything else? Yeah, Jared?
Yeah, it reminded me when Julie was talking at one of the recent commissioner meetings, Vicki Bishop, our clerk, said that she received several inquiries from townships to allow early voting to take place at the county so that they wouldn't have to pay for it, because there's several rural townships that it's a major concern for their budget. And so she requested it from the State Bureau of Elections, and they granted her request, but they have like this 145 or 150 day window, and
We're out of it.
it was sometime in July, but the long and the short of it is, it wasn't early enough for it to qualify for August or for November. So it's gonna be the next statewide election, probably 2028 before it's useful.
And a lot of counties around us, that's actually normal. That early voting is at the county building. It's not held at the township. Quite a few of the clerks here are on board for that, just because of the turnout. I know Kearney Township combined with Echo Township, and they had 80 voters. I forgot what Milton said they had.
Well, we combined with Torch Lake a couple years ago, and it was pretty minimal too.
Yeah, and people don't even combining. That's why we didn't combine. Is that nobody wants to drive here, right? So even our own voters, the reason we got. I mean, I was one of them, and then I made Travis come in to vote, and anyone who stopped in during early voting, Jesse. Like, if you came to the building, I asked you to go vote because I was recruiting people to vote.
Yeah.
But why are the townships concerned if it's all reimbursed by the state except food?
I just, all I'm going by is what she reported at the meeting, that she's had several requests from townships. And not all of them probably get the grant. I mean, it's a headache filling it out, getting it in on time.
I think it's like there's one township that has 300 registered voters, so for them to hold it, it's for like that. It's not worth it.
Well, it's not worth it for us. $85 a voter. And that was even pushing people to vote that didn't come in to vote.
Yeah, and a lot of them still told me
other
no.
reasons. Yeah.
They actually they came in and they got like the sample ballot. I asked them if they wanted to vote, and they said no. We only vote on election day.
So she talked to the county administrator, and he has a spot upstairs that he said he can, the one hallway and office that he can block off for that, and he thinks it'll work fine. So she talked to the county administrator. Yeah, we're just waiting for the deadline of the state, and 2028, the county commissioners have already expressed interest in combining the Register of Deeds and the county clerk into one. A whole bunch of other counties already do it. They have what they call a clerk register. So it would save us a whole bunch of money because there'd be one less elected official in Antrim County. And we'd have one less window that would have to be manned in the county building. So it would save another full-time employee besides. So that has to be decided before 2028. There's a state law that says if you change that, it has to be decided a certain number of months before the primary. So if somebody wants to run for it, they know exactly what they're running for.
That has to be decided.
So that's the only way it can be combined. I'm just thinking of all the deeds for property and all that going to register of deeds, and then I'm thinking county clerk elections, vital records. But there's no, you can't combine register of deeds with equalization, or
We kind of.
that makes more sense to me.
I think we kind of already have them work together, but I'm not up on
all the details. Okay.
We kind of.
Alright, any other public comment?
I think we kind of already.
So while we were sitting, I was doing a little research on tire shredders. I personally believe that things like that are for the private. When you start having government doing a service and taking people's money, they're supposed to tax us and take our money. When you get the government bigger than the economy, then it just doesn't really work out really well. People can't afford it and bottom out. And, so it is a profitable business. If somebody were to get a $20,000, $30,000 tire shredder, you could probably bring in $300,000 a year with 100,000 tires. That's just some rough numbers, but it is worth it to seek that service out in the private economy rather than having the government run a tire shredding service and hiring guys to run it, growing our government, and sometimes it's probably not needed. Maybe there won't be tires to shred, and you have these guys standing around that are there to shred tires, and it's just not. That's what government is anyway. So anyway, another thing too is we had the big 6 inches of rain. Dave spoke about the gravel. My road just was redone last year, and it is resilient. It is probably the nicest road in Banks Township. Thank you again. Even though the sides did wash out about a foot, but any other thick gravel road, I wouldn't even dare driving on it. It just beats your car too much. You always want to try to stay on pavement, which like Essex Road is. You want to stay off of that one too. Anyway, otherwise your car's gonna be in the shop. Anyway, the gravel then. I need 10 yards for my yard. I would like to get flattened out before the snow comes. I guess at this point with how things are going in planning commission, the only option is to buy the gravel from the pit right next to the other one from the big guys. They'll truck it through the town to my house. So I was kind of talking about that. When am I going to be able to buy 10 yards of gravel from Mr. Rubin? Like, why not? It's common sense. It's just a truckload of gravel. Yeah, make your ordinance so Mr. Rubin doesn't take the lake or whatever. Get on it. They decided to take an old existing zoning ordinance and mark off what they don't want. I believe I should have said something months ago in that meeting I was there. But I believe that you start, when you refactor something, you start with a blank piece of paper and you add on it the things you want it to do, and then you check back against the things that you might have left out, and then you know exactly what's in it, what it means, and why it's there, and it's done. Anyway, my point is, it just seems like there's not a lot of common sense going into the planning commission as far as the gravel goes. Now we're making new rules where the trucks can't drive past the school, and I grew up in this town and I've seen trucks driving by the schools for my whole life, and I mentioned that to somebody and they said that that's a terrible idea to not let the trucks go by the school because the kids love it. They run up to the fence and they go like this. And one guy I worked with is a truck driver, and his horn broke and all the kids ran out to the fence and were doing that, and he felt so bad that it didn't work that he totally let the kids down. Anyway, I realized that was an idea of how to promote safety or something, but it kind of hurts people when you take yards of gravel in their yard, because that kind of stuff is a road blocker. I'm hoping to encourage people to get it going. So we need gravel.
Good. Anything else? Any other public comment?
I'm gonna
Jesse?
make a last one here. I don't know how some of the public would feel if we went out and spent $13,000 on gravel right now, when there's so many roads in our town that need gravel that aren't
I don't know
being
how
taken care of. I think that might not look the best. Considering it does go through some of the wetland there, I didn't see that silt fence was on that list. You may wanna see if they would require it.
being taken care of.
I know you're talking the geotextile fabric that would be underneath it,
Considering it
but
does go through
you may wanna see if it would require a silt fence on each side. I guess the last comment I'm gonna have today is something that I see every day. And I pull out my driveway and I look to the northeast and I see the Noman Estates. It's failed subdivision in our township. And you talk to people, like we all know people that have purchased lots there or have purchased them and sold them, and the general rule of thumb there, or the analysis there, is that there are so many rules and so many regulations that it doesn't make sense to build a home there. So you look at every single lot there, and there isn't a single house in there. It's a desirable location. The view there is amazing. Obviously before the DG, it's a great view of the DG if you're into that. But the athletic park, with being close to the schools, it's a great location, and there isn't a single home there. Because there's so many rules and regulations. And I'm trying to look at that and try not to see the glaring similarity between that and our township. And I'd be hard pressed to see, for anybody to tell me that they're different.
There's so many rules and regulations.
To the point where I think
Trying to look at that,
that
try
HOA
not
there is
to
gonna
see glaring
absolve
similarity
and just go
between
away
that and
because
our township.
I mean, all those lots have water, they got electricity, they got
See
paved roads, they got
Right,
all the
I mean,
things,
they're different.
and
To the point where I think
people don't build on them.
works that HOA
because there's too many
gonna
rules.
absolve and go away.
Just take that into
I
consideration
mean, all
with
those lots
all
have
this
water,
zoning
they got
stuff, that
electricity, they got paved
all
roads,
these
they got
rules do
all the
impact
things,
people's decisions on where they live and what they do.
and they people don't build on them.
So I got
Because there's too many. Take that into consideration with all the zoning stuff, that
Anything else?
all these rules do impact people's decisions on where they live.
Any board comment? All right, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right, Richard. Mark supports. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, the same. All right, we're out. 7:68.
Mark?
He's got two.
Oh, you actually get paid for doing this job?